got to the, are we finished with the West Coast Guardian?
Yeah.
That's right there. So we have a timed item here. We'll switch to a fellow by the name of Ben Howells. Music festival at Anakta Campground, Kachina Bay Camp.
Thanks very much for having me. I've printed a few things off. I'm not sure if you guys it's sort of designed, not really something we normally print out. It's just more of a PDF online, but it gives you a bit of a look. I've got an extra one if you guys want. So yeah, I'm Benjamin Howells. I have an event that I think would do really well in Kachina Bay. I grew up on Cortez Island, so I'm not too far from here. Sheltered Islands, territories of Lahoose and Slammin. But I mostly have done most of my events over the past decade out of the Comox Valley, Comox First Nation. So yeah, this event, the name Immerse, that's a sort of name placeholder. It's not necessarily the branding and the overall concept isn't fully together, more just looking at location and wanting to connect with everyone here and essentially open up some lines of communication. So yeah, essentially what I would like to do with my team as well as the HFN group is do an annual event at the campsite. And in this overview I have a handful of different items. The mission here, Immerse is a true West Coast music experience that incorporates the collective ethos through celebration, education, and deepening understanding of the culture, physical environment, and the vast array of wonders present at Kachina Bay and surrounding areas. So just to sidebar momentarily, I produced an event in Cumberland called Cumberland Wild, and before that in the same location, Atmosphere Gathering. So, you know, anywhere I'm producing an event, it always needs to reflect where I am. So if you look at our branding and our event in Cumberland, which is actually right downtown, which it's very immersed into the community there, and we work very closely with the mayor and council and community to mitigate lots of concerns that may be. So I have some experience in working within a smaller space that, you know, where lots of different types of people need to be, you know, put into account as to what is acceptable and what for a community. So yeah, Immerse, we would love to incorporate a lot of the, you know, if we flip over to so back on the same page here, the event inventory is music, arts, educational activities throughout the 3 days, on-site camping, daily themes, workshops, potential tours of the areas, and speakers during one day. We would obviously have food on site, and we're looking on the first year to try to have a sort of a pilot program of 500 to 700 person mark to kind of get a feel for the sense, and how the space can handle people in larger numbers. Yeah, we looked through and sort of, you know, copied and pasted a fair bit of stuff in the one paragraph from your guys's website. We really love the ethos and what you know, HFN are putting out there. Everything we've looked at, it's just really great. So we would love if the community and the people were interested in collaboration to incorporate as much of any sorts of cultural information, cultural teachings, activities, workshops, as well as just be in alignment with what you guys are doing here. So we wanted to make sure that's really apparent. And there's a bunch of stuff in here, like some fancy words from the mayor of Cumberland about what we do, and you're welcome to read it. I'm not going to read it out. But yeah, we just wanted to sort of explain our history with events, our desire to host an event in Kachina, and just wanted to open up a little bit of dialogue and discussion. So flipping through a little ways in, risk management, we ensure that our guests are safe and secure is the utmost important to us. We have a series of protocols in place to handle all sorts of situations. We hire security and are insured and all of the things that are required for a successful event. We partake in a variety of protocols, from emergency radio, volunteer protocols, tsunami, all that sorts of stuff. So we're very, very prepared in that regard. I did, in anticipation of coming here and talking with parks, I did my sister's a marine biologist. I have a few friends that are adapt to studies. So we did a quick environmental study on some of the species that could be at risk in the area. We wanted to get ahead of the conversation both with you guys and parks, because we are aware that parks' land is right there. So I have communicated with parks through a phone conversation and a handful of emails. Their stance is that if the blessings are coming from you folks, then I would partake in a parks event permit process with them just for the section of the event that would, obviously the beach and whatnot are part of it. So it sounds to me like the event process with parks is similar to ones I've done in the past. It's going to take time and it's lots of different things to consider, but I'm confident we can work with them on that. And for them, their main stipulation is that your guys' blessing is here. We've put a lot of thought into the location, the safety of the location, getting people to and from, driving on the van field, obviously with the detours and stuff and everything I'm quite aware of. I work for a company in town called Sitka Silviculture, and we do a lot of the reforestation around here. So 80% of those blocks we drove through coming out are blocks I've worked with, and we're doing HFN trees this year when they're ready and stuff. So I'm pretty invested in the area. I just bought a house in Port Alberni, and I stayed in Pacino last year. I got married last year at Banfield there, so we stayed at the campsite and we fell in love with it, obviously. I guess I'm just kind of flipping through this, kind of winging it. I want to kind of speak directly and rather than read verbatim from the pages. But certainly we can have a very positive impact on the economy in terms of increased tourism, the store, the hotels, accommodations. We'd like to try to incorporate an adventure facet to the festival that brings people to the location and through various means, and that could have some positive impacts locally. There's all sorts of quantifiable positives that can come indirectly from a music festival. But also in speaking with Patrick and the HFN group, we also wanted to implement some sort of sponsorship program, a portion of proceeds to something specific in town here, specific to HFN. So if there's anything out there, maybe it has something to do with tribal journeys. It's sort of a very open-ended statement. I'm looking for input and ideas of something that we could, as an event, over the long term, help directly contribute, not just the indirect. So I think that's in a nutshell what we're looking at. If you feel like reading through it at a later time, I'm always easily contactable. I'm fully open to discuss any thoughts or feelings or questions that people have now. Oh, I guess the request is blessings for an event, and then the HFN group, they'll need some sort of addition to their current usage on their campsite. We've had to include an annual festival, this annual festival, or festivals in general, something along that line. So I guess that's sort of the included request, or the technical request that would be attached to this.
So, let me understand here correctly, and you've already, your scheduled event is gonna happen, and you're just seeking our blessing for the project? More than that?
No.
He's here to get your approval on it.
Yeah.
To use the campground,
Yes.
Yes.
is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah,
And you've already had discussion with Patrick regarding that?
Yes, we've discussed the idea. They're interested in it happening. There's nothing planned at all. All of this is just whipping something together as a visual reference. That date is a date that would work very well for my company's logistics and my team's logistics, but nothing is for sure, and actually this won't happen at all without your blessing.
I just wanna make a comment, I really like how you've addressed some of the big concerns that we have, like related to big events.
Sure.
Particularly the security, and that's the first thing that stood out for me. I was really glad to see that here, because we have had other big events where security was an issue, and I'm glad that you're here. And I'm glad you're speaking to the environmental thing, you know, like usually when you have a big function, there's a big cleanup after that, or something to attend to, so I'm glad it's captured in your presentation. So, do we have a motion in here to supporting it?
I have it be it resolved that Executive Council hereby moves to approve the usage of the Pachina Bay Campground to hold the music festival scheduled for, it was July 3rd to the 5th of 2020.
Yeah. So that'll be the motion?
That's what I have.
Okay, can we
written.
make the motion in discussion? Is there a mover then? Moved by Charlie, seconded by Robert. Discussion? Ed?
Yeah, I think a few questions. I think one is we like to know who's coming into our territory. I think is a big one. We have 3 sacred principles that we follow. I think that if we were to have this, I think it would be like on a, if we decide to, I think it would be generally how it goes. Because just knowing that there's outside people coming in, its numbers are 500 to 700 people. When you get that mixture of people coming into a place that's kind of an rural area, and what the setting is, and just thinking of outside influences coming into our area, I think that if there was any planning going on, I think that there should be somebody from HFM to be a part of that, so that there's somebody that's on the inside that can make sure that these principles are being followed. Because I think my number one concern is the safety and well-being of our citizens that are here. To the knowing that we have a world-known campsite, and they come to our campsite for a reason. Just knowing that there's plenty of economic opportunities and spin-offs from the event. I think that I would like to see some involvement in what that looks like. I'm not too sure, but that's why we're having this discussion. I think if it was going to happen on an annual, I think it would have to be reflected on what that first 3-day event looks like, and what it's going to look like before it happens and what it's going to look like afterwards and during. And I think that if it's a disaster and then there's outside influences that harm any of our people in any way, then I think it's something that maybe it shouldn't happen in our area.
Yeah, no, that's 100% understandable. I think in any situation, obviously, you guys and the HFN group of businesses at any point is obviously able to say, no, that's not going to happen. Of course, I would love to be here 10 years from now celebrating the 10-year anniversary of the event. It's a successful event that immerses well and works well for everyone. And I think Patrick is focused on something that's going to have that sort of continuous yearly. So because of that, we are very focused on seeing that 500 to 700 sort of proof of concept year. And also for me, from a logistical perspective, how well is my team going to work with the campground team, and when there is a situation that comes, how is that situation worked and resolved quickly on site during the event. And all those little working questions, I think, will come into play on that first year, and hopefully will be smooth and worked out in a way that makes sense. Yeah, and certainly if an event I hosted began to play any kind of negative impact in an area, I certainly wouldn't want to continue it myself, just because, you know, again, being from a small place, you know, Cortez Island, I know what it is to have, you know, that sort of sentiment of being from a small place within a group of people, you know, and the impacts of, even economic impacts can be, obviously can be negative as well. You want the positive, the right type of positive economic impacts. I definitely would like to see that happen, sure.
And I think that, maybe if there's like references, I think if, you know, if we contacted Siam or anywhere else where you've held events
Yeah.
of this same type, where, you know, we could have a conversation with our fellow brothers and sisters.
Yeah, Klahoose, you know, Klahoose probably wouldn't have an opinion, although welcome to chat, because I haven't hosted an event on Cortez in many years, and not to the extent that this would be, but certainly I would suggest Comox First Nation. They're the ones that have partaken in our events since we started in Cumberland. The Kumagway dancers are there every year, things of that nature. So I think in contacting folks who have worked with us from Comox would probably be the most relative reference to use. Also, you're welcome to communicate with any council or mayor of Cumberland as well. I'm sure Mayor Baird would be happy to discuss sort of her experience with the events we throw.
Okay. And just a couple of things. I'm excited. I like what you're putting together here. But there's other reasons, you know, like casino. We need to create opportunities where our people can get involved in tourism.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm seeing, Kathy, is that, for example, if we had brought down a big tent, we could host a couple or 2 or 3 cultural events, have a fee for people to come in, do the same thing with the food, I mean, facility, because that's where I'm seeing that we could be involved. Because I do know, like, for example, and Ed went down, we go down to Macaw Days, and they have their event outside, and they, like, I don't know, they must have 100 vendors, but it's a different type of function, but they have special places where you can buy your food and all that. And they're all busy during the day. I mean, you can have all kinds of food, different things, and then they have a salmon barbecue that only goes on at a certain time. And when they have the salmon barbecue, there's a lineup there. There's a great big line of people waiting to, and that's kind of what I would envision that we'd like to, like, you know, set up something where we could be involved and participating in that way.
That would be amazing, and honestly, I feel like a massive portion. And if you go back and look at some of the events and some of the acts I've booked in the past, like, our events definitely draw a unique audience that's going to be definitely very interested in anything you would want to contribute to, especially if it's like traditional foods and teachings, and also modern teachings. You know, the idea of the ancient people with the modern take. You know, like infusing those cultural ideas in with modern ideas, and yeah, I would love for that. That would be my ideal situation. Would be there being workshops. You know, a carver guy on site showing
Perfect.
people how he does, or she does, or anything of that nature. Is like that. Actually, to me, is what would make the event what it is. I also would like to incorporate some scientific stuff. I'd like to get a few biologists there to do some stuff about the scientific ecology of the area, and given Banfield has that a marine sort of section, I think that's another great thing to bring in. I think getting people here is hard, and there could be some revenues there with boats and ways of getting people. I think food, everyone's here, there's not a lot of places for them to go, they're very isolated there, so everyone's gonna need to eat and all those things. I think, yeah, there's a lot of opportunity there. Yeah.
Okay, the workshop, we'll work on what that looks like, and I like it, this is where I can really see us participating.
Curious on the headset, silent disco weekend for another event.
Oh, okay.
That's an interesting spin on.
Yeah, you know, the Silent Disco is an interesting one, because we host Cumberland Wild right in the middle of town. Our music will go till 1 a.m. and then it shuts off, but there's still people that still want to dance. So these headsets, right, it actually works really well, because what it was a way to mitigate having all of these people leave the site at the same time. So what it does, it takes the people that still really want to dance, gives them something to release their energy for. It allows a slow egress from the site, which then makes it less of a negative impact on the community. People, when they hit the street, they can network, hey, we're going to this party, hey, we're going to that party. So the Silent Disco had a way of, it was one of those things where the attendees enjoy it, the town appreciates it, and the RCMP find it to be a really good method of easing a party concert down.
Is that possible option on this one?
It is an option for sure, yeah.
Unfortunately, it's a great spot, but definitely any kind of bass travels.
Sound coming from Gina Bay up in this direction there.
Yeah, more just, coming in from
Oh, is it
the,
from
towards
It
the
would face outwards toward the water.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, certainly the direction of the speakers is gonna go out on the water, shooting, slightly to the south would be the idea, just to lower that impact, for sure.
Ben, thanks.
Thank you very much.
Discussion on the motion.
Anybody on phone?
Any more discussion on the motion?
All good.
Good, we're on.
Beautiful.
Let's work together, let's make it happen.
Love that. I'm really glad to hear that. Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Okay.